Is the tide of public opinion turning in Assange's favor? Well, this article says yes, the tide of public opinion is turning in Assange's favor. Corporate media and some politicos who opposed Assange after the 2016 election have radically changed their tune, favorably influencing public opinion after the Espionage Act indictment of the WikiLeaks founder. This is according to Joe Laria. The indictment of Julian Assange under the Espionage Act has profoundly affected press coverage of the WikiLeaks founder, with much of the media turning suddenly and decisively in his favor after years of vilifying him. Well, and keep in mind, and I know the article knows this too, keep in mind he was a hero first. He was a hero, then all of a sudden he was public enemy number one, and now people are slowly starting to realize, even people that still say they don't like him, are saying, but what we're doing is ridiculous. I've been seeing a lot of that, and I've been seeing more of that. At first, it was just Julian Assange is public enemy number one now. You'd ask them why, and a lot of people, they wouldn't be able to tell you why. They'd be like, well, he helped Trump. And you'd be like, well, how specifically? What do you mean by that? He released information that, that's his job as a publisher, and the information was unflattering to Trump's opponent and the DNC. He published thousands of documents about Trump that were also unflattering. There's a ton of unflattering stuff about Donald Trump on WikiLeaks. That's there, right? But because he had some specific stuff unflattering to the DNC and Hillary Clinton, why did he release it before the election? Should he have waited until after? When people talk about the timing of it, I'm like, dude, he's a publisher. He got these documents. Something the public should know. He released it. What do you mean the time? Should he have held it and he should have been like, well, I guess I gotta wait? What? Do you understand what a journalist is supposed to do? What a publisher is supposed to do? You're not supposed to cherry pick what you let the public know about when it's valid information. Oh, and how many things have WikiLeaks had to retract ever? Zero. So anyway, getting back to this article. All right, so now they're summarizing all this stuff. Oh, he used to be a Russian agent. So now things are shifting. So here's some more recent stuff. I find the Trump administration's use of the Espionage Act against him profoundly disturbing. Whatever Assange got up to in 2010-11, it was not espionage. Assange is accused of trying to persuade a source to disclose yet more secret information. Most reporters would do the same. Then he's charged with behavior that, on the face of it, looks like a reporter seeking to help a source protect her identity. If that's indeed what Assange was doing, good for him. Yeah, because as Glenn Greenwald said, Glenn Greenwald said this on NPR. He said, look, if Assange was getting information and he said, oh, hey, can you get me more of this? That's journalism. That's what that is. Now, if he said, oh, I'm going to hack stuff. Well, okay, hacking is technically a crime. That's why they kept trying to get Chelsea Manning to say that he helped her hack stuff. That's why they were holding Chelsea Manning. They wanted her to say, and she wouldn't do it. She's like, no, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to lie. I'm not just going to tell you people what you want to hear so you can continue your ridiculous, inhumane persecution of whistleblowers. And what's happening to Chelsea Manning, what's happening to Julian Assange, they want to send a message to anyone else who's thinking of doing something similar. That's what's really going on here. And we know this. But it does seem like, and we can talk about this more later, but I have noticed too that I think public opinion has been shifting. A lot of people that were angry about Julian Assange, which I think that anger is misdirected. We've talked about that many a times. I think that is misdirected anger. And, there's that old saying, if you find yourself being... I forget the Malcolm X quote off the top of my head. I think I was my brain my brain went a little faster than my words, but it's that if you find yourself falling for propaganda, you're going to be mad at at the wrong people, basically. So anyway, but a lot of folks, even in that camp, just on the Twitter sphere and stuff like that, are kind of saying, this is ridiculous and inhumane what we're doing. This is disgusting. And, you know, a lot of folks are saying, I'm still not a fan of the guy. They'll say that. And, you know, I don't know if their reasons are all that great. It seems like in a lot of cases they aren't. But nonetheless, I do think that the premise of this article is correct. I do think that public opinion is starting to sway, and that is a good thing. And, you know, we talk about Julian Assange a lot on this show. It's hard to not feel completely powerless in this, for instance. But, you know, the tide seems to be shifting in a positive way. And hopefully all the online visuals, hopefully all the, you know, all the content that people have put out there, you know, showing the other side of it, because the corporate media's slant is so narrow. Hopefully that has made a difference.
Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. You can tweet me an article at Ron Placone. We'll go through it together and